Now, this didn't happen very often, I know, but let's assume you lost.
Yeah.
Let's take the difference, the after-match situation. You've won a game, and then let's compare it to you've lost a game. At what point would you begin to analyse it, weigh it up? At what point would you talk to the players again, really in a heavy fashion?
Oh, well, we didn't lose many games, but from losing you can learn more than you can from winning. So if we lost a game, there was an inquest.
In the dressing room?
Oh, no. We might bring them back on Monday and use the big lounge and have a free-for-all discussion. Yeah.
And would you encourage players to...
Oh, yes, everybody had their say, yeah. That's right, yeah. We've had many big discussions in the big lounge after games we'd lost. We didn't have many because we didn't lose many. But even we're winning, we had big discussions after lunch, during the week, which Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'd just say, all right, we'll be in the lounge at 2 o'clock. And we'd have a full-scale discussion. Even when we're winning, not when we're losing. But when we're losing, we would have a full-scale discussion, yeah. Yeah. To analyse and talk. Because you can talk much more when you lose than you can when you win. Because you can see how you lost. You can't see how you lost, it's time to get out. And somebody wasn't doing something. Or maybe the opposition had just a very good day, and you can't really vouch for that. You can't do anything about that part of it.
Obviously you want to achieve a balance between confidence in a team. What about overconfidence in a team?
Oh, well, overconfidence is not really a good thing. I mean, overconfidence is a form of ignorance. Overconfidence, I mean, that's nonsense. I mean, nobody can be overconfident. They might be, if they're overconfident, there's nothing for them because you can crash. You're overconfident means you're talking too much about what you're going to do. Football can bring you down to earth quick. Oh, we want to hear fellas with the sensible confidence, not overconfidence. There's a happy medium in everything, isn't there? If you've got a team who's playing as a team and they all know each other and they all know the pattern of play, and it's just like it's the simplest thing in the world to play it. I mean, there's a lot of teams possibly that don't know what they're trying to do. They don't know what the plan is. It's hard to understand the plan. So it's getting a plan and get men to play it. And they know in every situation they're in what they should try and do. And if you're in a situation where you're needing help, then somebody's going to come and help you. It's as simple as that.
Obviously, the football club is built up into a good club in all departments. What about a board level?
They had no money to start with to buy players. None at all. Until later on, after a couple of seasons maybe, no, less than a couple of seasons. After my first season, half season, we were third in the league. Then my first full season, we were third in the league. So after about 18 months, a man came onto the board called Mr. Sawyer. He came from the Littlewoods organisation, and he was the accountancy man. And he was a little bit sick as well, but he was an ambitious man. He had a big job with the Littlewoods, a big man in the mail order. And there was a discussion about players. As I told you, we were looking for big men like St John and Yeats. So the most vital signings were Yeats and St John. So St John came onto the market, and I remember going to it was in the Sunday Post, Scottish Sunday Post. I went to the board meeting and I said that St John and Motherwell could be up for sale. And they were talking about the price, and somebody says, we can't afford to sign him. Well, Mr. Sawyer said, we can't afford not to sign him. And we went to Motherwell the following week and signed him, saw him playing in a match. That didn't make any difference, playing in a match. And we brought him down to Liverpool the next day and we signed him. Now, that man was really and truly the beginning of Liverpool. He was somebody that was willing to spend money. So he said to me, if you can get the players, he said, I'll get the money. So then Yeats, who had played against St John once, had seen them playing against each other, who was a tower, Yeats, fantastic man. That was the end of a season. St John came at the end of the full season. We played in the Liverpool Senior Cup at Everton. He scored 3 goals. We lost the game 4-3. But he was the beginning. He'd set the place on fire, scored 3 goals. So that was in the May. June, July came. were after Yeats. Went up to Dundee United, we didn't get any joy. The next day they phoned us and said, you can have him for £30,000. I said, right, we'll meet you in Edinburgh tomorrow. And we met him in Edinburgh the next day and we signed Yeats for £30,000. Now they were the greatest signings and they were the beginning of Liverpool, as Mr. Sawyer was the man who found the money. And they laid the foundations, Yeats and St John. Yeats could have played in the second division by himself with no other defenders with him and won it. Yeah, fantastic man. 6 feet, 1.5, the quickest thing in 2 feet. Strong as an ox. Defended as well. All right, he wasn't Peter Thompson with his trickery. No. But as a defender, which he was, there was very few in the game in the same class. And St John up the front was making chances and scoring goals and making chances. And he helped to bring on Roger Hunt, who was also a great player. So we just walked out the second division. I think we won the first 7 matches.
You had the first great Liverpool team. Now they must have been winning cups, medals, when you decided that you had to replace them. When did you make that decision?
We had a great team, the 60s team. If the 60s team had a Ray Clemens in goal, they'd have won the European Cup and all the cups under the sun. Because I say that because I think Ray Clemens has been one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. And if it had been in that 60s team, I don't think that anybody could possibly have beaten us. We won the league, the cup, the league again. We went to another cup final and lost. We were in 2 cup finals, that team. The 65 cup final, which we won, and the 71 now. We won the league, the cup, the league. That was in 3 successive seasons. 64, 65, 66. I had a bargain that my best spell in football was from I was 28 until I was 33. And I said that if you behave yourself and look after yourself, by that time you're 20, you've learned the game and you're a tradesman and that's your best seasons. And I'd bargained for all these players going on till they were 30 at least. Well, they didn't do that. Some of them waned a little bit, you know. So one day we went to Watford in the Cup. Peter Thompson didn't play and Tommy Smith didn't play, of course. We were vital matches because Peter Thompson was one of the greatest players of all time and Tommy Smith's one of the best players that's played in England since the war. Never mind about being a hard man, that's trash. Tommy Smith could play. They didn't play at Watford, Thompson and Smith. Maybe it was a godsend. We lost the game and that was decided after the match, that was it. To break them up and start again. By that time we were into the third divisions, of course, and we'd bought Alec Lindsay, we'd bought Larry Lloyd and Ray Clemens and a few players from the third division. So I had to break them up then.
Why did you go to third and fourth divisions? I mean, you were one of the first to do that.
Well, we couldn't go and buy a £100,000 player and play him in the reserve team. So we went to the lower leagues where we could maybe pay them 35 and 40,000. And Ray Clemens was on 18,000. So we got them at that age in the smaller leagues where they were quite happy to come to Liverpool. Whereas if we'd have gone to another club and paid £100,000, we couldn't pay them in the reserve team. No, too much. So we then had to break it up. In the end of the day, if Tommy Smith and Peter Thompson had played, we wouldn't have lost. Because I think Tommy Smith and Peter Thompson could have beat Watford by themselves. But we lost. Maybe it was a godsend they didn't play, because Tommy was only a young boy and Peter wasn't very old. But Tommy was, at his peak, a great player.